Hey, what's up? Would you like to find out how I lived on just under 500 pounds each month in the United Kingdom? Watch until the end to find out. So before I start talking about it, I would like to say that each city in the United Kingdom has a different cost of living index. The city that I'm in right now is called Birmingham, and Birmingham is one of the least expensive places to live in the United Kingdom, as it has about 3 universities and it's a very student-friendly city. But if you were to go to some city like London, these costs are gonna go way higher. Things that I talk about in this video are all about Birmingham, because that's the city I lived in. To start off with, as soon as I came here, after about a month after being here as an international student, I figured out that I had to go to a lot of places. I had to go to university, I had to go to work part-time, and then I also had to go to the gym, and I had to go get some groceries. So one of the first things that I did was I purchased a cycle. So this was a new city, and I wasn't sure about how safe it is to leave my cycle and ride it and stuff. What I did was I went for the least expensive cycle that I could find, which cost me about 16,000 rupees or 160 pounds. And the lock was an additional 15 pounds, which is about 1,500, which is alright. So I got a cycle, which made my life so much easier, because if you were to go on public transport, the cost generally usually adds up. So it's about £1 if you're a student to travel in a bus anywhere. For one trip, it would cost you around £2, and if you go out for like 5 days in a week, then that's going to cost you about £10. So that's something that you could save if you were to get like a cycle, an electric cycle even. Those things are a bit more expensive. So a very good electric cycle can cost you about £1,000 or 1 lakh rupees. But it's a very good investment, because those cycles have a range of about 60 miles on one single charge. So that is something that you should probably consider. The next thing, my accommodation. So I chose the least expensive accommodation that I could find online. Cost me about £280 a month. That was just with water included. The electricity and the internet were not included in the bill. So that was about 28,000 rupees a month on rent and water, which was a really good deal. The internet was about £7 a month. And that was because I was sharing my accommodation with 3 other people. So the bill was split between three other people. My share of the bill was £7 a month for the internet. And the electricity and gas. The electricity is really affordable here. All the houses have heaters. So because UK can get so cold, all the houses have heaters, and all these heaters work on gas. And gas is really expensive. And the electric bill and the gas bill would add up to somewhere around £55 a month. That was my share of the entire electric bill. For a house of 4, the electric bill would be somewhere around £176, £180 each month. So that's about £50 every month. So my accommodation, my internet, and the electricity and gas would add up to somewhere around £350 a month. Then there's groceries. So here in the UK, there are huge supermarkets. These same supermarkets have smaller stores, which are called local stores or express stores. So these stores, they only have like the essential items that you need, like vegetables, eggs, milk and stuff. So these smaller stores can be a bit expensive. But if you were to go to the big store all the time, you'll be able to find a lot of deals, A lot of things will be on clearance because they haven't been purchased by anybody, and a lot of the stuff there go on sale, on offer and stuff. So I would suggest that you go to the big supermarkets as much as you can to save a bit of money. And when it comes to groceries themselves, I had to learn this the hard way. So the first few times I went, I used to buy a lot of vegetables that I might have to end up throwing. So after about the first few times, I set myself a kind of a routine to purchase groceries. So I would only buy enough vegetables to cook my next meal, so that I don't have to throw out anything. And each of these grocery trips would cost me somewhere around £25 a week, and that is including meat, milk, eggs, vegetables, and everything else that you can think of. So I cooked all my food at home. I never went out to restaurants because the restaurants can be really expensive here. Breakfast in India that would probably cost you about 50 rupees is going to cost you about 300 to 400 rupees here. Well, not even 300. It's going to cost you about 1,000 rupees here to have the same kind of breakfast that you would have had in India. So I cooked all my food at home. That is the sole reason I was able to live with a £500 budget. The kind of food that I would have is, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tip here. So if you guys know how to use a pressure cooker, all you have to do is add some rice, add some chana dal or kidney beans into the cooker, and then add any vegetables that you like onto the cooker, and then add like some sambar powder and some salt and spices as you see fit, and then you boil it, and in 20 minutes you have a meal for the next 4 or 5 times, which can be a huge time saver as well as a huge money saver. And apart from that, I would have oats, banana, I would have bread and peanut butter, and my breakfast would be eggs, hash browns, and some turkey bacon. So most of these things are very easy to cook, very fast, and you don't need a lot of preparation to actually cook them. So I managed to cook as well as get all my other responsibilities covered as well. So the groceries and the cooking would add up to a total of about 100 to 120 pounds a week. Of course, it means double if I were to eat outside. Not even double, probably triple if I had to if I were to eat outside or purchase ready-made food that I can put in the oven and then have it directly. So that was a huge money saver. Since I was working part-time as a security assistant, I had to work on most weekends. So I couldn't go out on most weekends. So that was a huge money saver as well, because since I was a security assistant, I would go out to a club to look after the club, to protect people, to stop people from fighting and stuff. So I would also kind of get to be part of the party that was happening on the weekend as well, and I was also working, so that was a win-win for me, and that's why I didn't have to go out on weekends. So not going out on weekends also saved me a lot of money. So instead of going out on weekends and spending about 30 or 40 pounds on whatever that was, I was making about 80 to 85 pounds working on weekends. And even if I did go out on weekends, people have these things called prees here. So they get really drunk before they even go to the party, so that they don't have to spend any money in the pub, because the drinks can be expensive in a pub or a club. So what people do is they get all their drinks beforehand, they have it all, and then they go to the parties. So that can also save you a lot of money. The entries to these events are usually just under £7, so you don't have to worry about that. So keeping about £50 to have fun every month, even then my budget came up to about £487 each month. There you go. That's how I lived on just about £500 each month. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I have transferred some tips and tricks that you can use while you're a student here in the United Kingdom. So like always, if you guys have any comments, questions, drop them in the comments below, or there's a list of all my socials in my channel. Get in touch with me and let's have a conversation. Thank you so much for your time. Peace.